What's this for a fucking angle, eh? Well, I'm sitting here waiting for my shit to go off on the SU campus for Uber, and thought I'd make a vlog real quick. Since I'm trying to do a daily vlog, I gotta say it is a little bit more rough than I thought it would be to squeeze off a video every day, even uncut without any real editing. It's kind of a pain, but I'm still gonna do it. I want to do it. It's just not convenient some days. Some days I get really busy with my other gigs, and that's just how it goes. You can still get T-hose even though I don't go to Canada no more. So this week I've been kind of really thinking about minimalism, and I'm not 100% there yet as far as achieving my goals with minimalism, because there's a lot of things I've identified in my life that I have that I really don't need, and there's a lot of things that I'm inclined to spend money on that I also probably don't need. So I'm thinking the next line of videos, after I got another video coming out tomorrow about keto, and I forget what it was. I think it was keto and mental health or something like that. Yeah, keto and mental health. I make so much content, I forget what the fuck I got coming up. But that's all edited, uploaded, and ready to drop tomorrow, along with the daily vlog tomorrow. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards when I go film in Watkins Glen, which is supposed to be a little colder, so I better find a fucking hoodie. It's basically I'm trying to get a little bit more into the minimalism thing, because I haven't been doing very well with that. I almost went out and got a Note 8, and then after careful deliberation, I decided that $300 more for what essentially amounts to a slightly fancier camera and a pen, because the screen size is the same as this phone. The processor's the same. It has a little more RAM than this phone, but everything else is the same, same speed, same performance. So I really don't need to go drop $300 and reset the clock on my debt for this phone. The price of this phone's dropping. I'm going to pay it off soon, so I should probably just pay this phone off, get the hell out of that treadmill of leasing a phone, just pay for my data and my phone bill every month, and go from there. So that's kind of what's on tap for me, today or this week, as far as what I'm going to talk about during my adventure down to Watkins Glen. I'm thinking about a lot of changes I want to continue to make to my lifestyle and my personal choices to help improve things. Mood still is leveled out. Haven't had a peak or a valley or anything. I'm kind of just there. I'm just it's weird. It's like a calmness. Now I can get agitated a little, just as easily, but I think that's from fasting, and it's a side effect of fasting and keto, and probably a little bit of the dopamine withdrawal from quitting sugar and alcohol has got me a little on edge, a little aggressive, I guess, and that falls into a lower serotonin, lower dopamine scenario. So, but I'm not depressed, which means I'm not hitting rock bottom in the dopamine. And, but I'm not jittery and jumping off the walls either, which is what high dopamine would entail, a little bit of manic behavior. And it's really interesting that it was my diet. Every day that I go by where I don't get a peak or a valley, it's becoming more clear to me that it was the shitty foods I was eating, even with the fasting. So keep that in mind. What you eat it's like as potent as a drug in how it affects your mental health, how it affects your weight loss, your liver, your body, your brain, your bacteria, there's just so many factors that can fuck us up in the mental health department that it's hard to keep track of. So there'll be a lot more on that topic as I continue this experimental keto ADF. I am losing weight. I'm back down to 188 on a fasting day. I'm on a feed cycle now. So we'll see if I'm really making progress. By the end of next week, I should know if I've broke the plateau or not. If I drop down to 188 and then go back up to 190 and then drop to 180, 190 is slightly down, by the way. 191 is where I was hovering at. So, but the main thing is the waist has been coming down gradually. And that's the goal of quitting alcohol and sugar. If I can't get rid of that fatty liver, I can tell you I might go back, to at least to alcohol, not sugar. Because at least alcohol, you can't do it all the time. Sugar can get out of control fast. So can alcohol if you're not careful. But right now I am staying strong. I have no desire to drink. I have no desire for sugar. I'm doing fine on keto. I've got my little keto dessert-like shit that I have. I've got my meals. I've got egg. I love eggs, and I've probably am mastering the art form of preparing scrambled eggs in different fucking ways. I got one with hot sauce. I got one with some fucking spices and shit. And, I'm definitely mastering the art form of making scrambled eggs taste different. I've got some Montreal seasoning I mix in sometimes. Sometimes I have garlic butter eggs. So it's fucking... Sorry, somebody just whizzed by in a boosted board with headlights on it. And he was easily going like 20 miles an hour through the park. College kids, I tell you. I'd probably fall down and break my face if I did some shit like that. Uber's interesting, by the way. I get to see a lot of fucking shit out here, and we're gonna start making videos about that where I kind of talk about. I don't want to put a camera on motherfuckers in my Uber, but that doesn't mean I can't get on here and do a little tales from the Uber, because some interesting shit does happen out here, and I kind of want to talk about it in the future. So that might be on deck for some future videos. Might bring my little camcorder out to make some some Uber shit, even though it's really not there's a lot of, this is what happens when you don't fucking edit. There's a lot of fucking sorry, I got like ADD, so much going on. I should have parked in a less distracting area. It's hard to do on campus. But it's hard to, I forgot what the fuck I'm talking about. See? This is why, you wonder why I have to edit. This is why. I get distracted easily, maybe I got ADD or something. But if I get, I'm at this point where, like, I'll have a train of thought, and then something will catch my eye or distract or draw my attention away from that train of thought. And then when I go back to it, I can't exactly just pick up where I left off. I don't know if that's a thing or what, but that's what I'm dealing with there. Anyways, thank you guys for your contributions. I would like a little feedback on the daily vlogs. I notice only 4 of you out of like 15 seem to be watching these. If, I don't know if that's a thing, or, if nobody's watching them, do you guys want to eventually release them to the channel? And I'm thinking of doing that in kind of a long form type deal, and, so on and so forth. Give me some opinions on what you think of the daily vlog. Is it a suitable replacement for the weekly podcast, or do you want to go back to the weekly podcast? We're going to have another vote at the end of the week on whether to keep the daily vlog or go back to the motherfucking podcast. Anyways, I'm going to get back to driving these fucking college kids around, while they stare at their phones and talk about who's fucking who and do drugs and drink and all the other shit that they do out here. Maybe they learn something or they get indoctrinated. I don't know. Did I just get a little political there? Sometimes I slip and fall into the politics. Have a nice motherfucking day and shit.